Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show.
You never heard of a talking horse? Well, listen to this.
With your host, Louisa Barton.
What does it feel like to be in love with a horse?
Presented by Palm Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy experience.
Back in the saddle again.
Now, here's your pretty Louisa Barton.
You're fab, you're switched on, you're a bit of all right, yes! Yeah, baby! Yeah.
Hello, everybody. This is Katy Jo Zuidema, and I'm here with Jack Montgomery, a farrier. I guess everyone calls you a Master Farrier.
Yeah.
And you're from Ocala and Wellington and everywhere else.
Yes, and then our main place is in Tryon, North Carolina, and I have shot horses for 29 years. Okay, 3 generations in.
3 generations, being your grandfather and your dad?
My grandfather, my dad, and then we actually had a great uncle, and he was a farrier in Michigan in 1873. So we got like a long history in the equine world.
This is what you do.
This is what I do.
Good for you.
And then I like to invent things that are actually going to help the horse. Okay, so I got tired of having problems with like my horse's hooves that I shoot for. I shoot for a lot of the big-time Olympic riders. I've shot horses overseas from Ireland to Italy, all the way through Dubai, everywhere, and I just really don't promote myself that much, but I like promoting my companies and that.
You promote horses' feet.
I promote
and their
horses'
comfort.
feet.
Yes,
That's
sir.
my comfort. Yep.
Yes, sir.
So-
Before we get too far into this, tell me more about you. So, you've been a farrier for how many years?
29 years.
29 years, and you mostly do hunter jumpers.
100 jumpers, yes. Yeah, so I've done everything. I mean, I've shot horses from gaited horses all the way through Arabians, all the way through big Shires, Clydesdales, all that stuff. But the hunter jumper realm was more of like an elite shoeing for me. You know, I really like the performance side of it, and I like the therapeutic performance side of it.
Sure, and it feels like, for me, I'm a horse trainer myself, and so once you find something you're really good at and you get your niche, you just kind of attack it, and so that's what you've done.
100%.
Okay, and so you said you have a farm in Tryon, which is in North Carolina.
Yep.
And then you work in Wellington too, down there?
Yes, I do. Yes, I shoot like from Santiago Lampre's horses, a lot of like McLean's horses, just a lot of the big riders all the way through. And then a lot of them now are coming up here to Ocala because we got the World Equestrian Center. So,
Which leads me to my next question. Are you spending more time up here now than you ever have?
yes, I am.
So what do you do now? Do you go back and forth like a lot of the horse trainers?
I have to, yes.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to just like snap my fingers or fly a plane. But my son, who is 16, he'll have his pilot's license in a year.
So that's what you're probably going to do is fly back and forth.
Yes, he's going to fly me back and forth.
I'm sure there's a small airport in Wellington like there is here in Ocala.
It's like everybody down there has their own little airport.
And so do you think that you're going to get like 2 sets of supplies and keep one here in Ocala and one down there?
I do already.
You already do?
Yeah, I have like 3 different trucks. I have 2 different trailers. More farrier stuff than I've ever wanted or needed. So.
Sure. Okay, so now someone said something about the Olympics in Tokyo. Tell me about that.
So, that's going to be awesome. I get to be the head of the forge for the Olympics, and it's going to be a set deal. I'll be going over on the 18th of July, but then I'm going to stay all the way through for the Paralympics too, because I told them I would help out with that.
Sure.
And that'll be a really amazing deal.
That'll be a great experience for everyone. Do they think that they will have an Olympics this year? Are we fingers crossed?
Our fingers are crossed.
Yeah.
You know, we're praying that everything that is kind of closing down in Europe doesn't close down, because we need all the test events. We need people to like qualify all the way through. So
Sure. Makes sense all the way. Okay, now tell me about your product. So I'm assuming as a horse person that throughout your years of being a farrier and your families, you had common problems, and you
Always.
thought, I keep doing the same thing to fix it, so why don't I sell the product to do that? I'm guessing.
Yes, yeah. So the development of this stuff has been years ago. Now probably 18 years ago, close to it.
And you
I
developed them?
Used it, yes,
Yep.
yes, all the way through everything. I used it, and then finally my big clients were like, "We need to just you need to just take this to market."
Sure.
So,
And so tell me what you have here.
Okay, so we actually have, it's an Omni Organic copper sulfate.
Yep.
That's feed grade. We have the paste, which was my base product, was my first we did. And I created it to take care of like thrush and white line disease. So they would have white line, and instead of like taking and resecting the entire hoof all the way, you could actually just take enough out of the white line disease and then pack this up into it.
Makes sense.
And it would kill the white line disease but promote hoof growth at the same time.
So is there salt in that? Is that it looks a little grainy?
It's actually an Omni Organic copper sulfate.
Perfect.
Okay, and it's put together with like a human-based wax, and then we have organic oregano oil and tea tree oil and everything in it.
Wow, that's great.
So,
What else you got? This is for white line and thrush, maybe too.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then a lot of farriers use it like straight under pads, so it'll take care of like that, but then it promotes like hoof growth all the way through.
What do you got? up
So we have the base product because everybody was like, we need something to paint on the hooves besides packing the hooves.
there? Right.
So it took about a year and a half, and I found a way to suspend the Omni Organic copper sulfate in a lemongrass oil with organic cocoa butter in between,
Okay.
and actually penetrate and dry within about a 2-minute period.
And how is this different than hoof oil?
Oh, it's 100% better than just a hoof oil, because a hoof oil, you can like oversaturate a hoof oil in the keratin and lamina of the hoof,
Right.
and the hoof is like 75 to 80% water anyways. So you can think you're blocking the water, but you're holding things in with a hoof oil.
Makes sense, actually.
This is like
A moisturizer and sealant.
yes, at the same time.
Like how I did that, I could work for you.
That's it, 100%. Because what it does is kind of like, coconut oil is really the only thing that works in human skin, really good.
Sure.
So that is what the same thing like coconut oil does for us. It actually goes into the hoof, sets, dries, and then it actually draws in the copper sulfate.
Makes sense. Okay. And then, yes.
The Easy Spray, it was I had to do like a liquid form for all the grooms and all the like people, because they want to be able to pull their horses out of FEI quickly out of the stall, and they didn't have time to like paint or put putty, or do anything. They clean the hoof, but they want to be able to use the same kind of components that we have, so we did a liquid form.
So they literally spray it with a spray gun?
Yes, they spray it with a spray gun. You can spray the entire bottom of the hoof and then around the nails and down.
Impressive. Okay, so you and your wife started this business, I think, yep, and your wife's name is?
Jack Montgomery.
And I think I met your two kids when we started this interview.
Yeah, Matthew and Merida.
Yes? And so this is what they do? And they travel around with you?
Oh, well, they came down, yeah.
They did?
Yeah, they did.
Yep.
They were like, I've been down here since December. So I go from December to like April, and
Right.
I'm up there, and then I would be out like Spruce Meadows in between.
Right.
And then you get flown around everywhere, and half the time you don't know where you're at.
That's right. So what's next for you?
Next for me?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So, well, they're not going to be happy because it's a little drive back to Wellington tonight.
Oh, you got to go tonight to
I
Wellington.
have to. People are like,
So what day is today? Today is Wednesday, and they probably have something big going on this weekend, so you got to get done by then?
I have to be shoeing at like 7 o'clock in the morning tomorrow.
Such is Farrier's life.
Yes, because I got a guy that works for me to set in, but they didn't use him.
So here you go.
They got me. But that means there's extra. That's all. That's how it goes.
That's good. All right, well, good luck to you, and it was so nice to meet you, too.
Yes.
Good luck.
Yes.